What's going on, everybody? I wanted to take a couple of seconds to do a quick post-crash review of some of my gear, uh, specifically because I wanted to kind of go through some of my Sedici stuff that I had. A little recap: about a month and a half ago, I was up in Deals Gap in North Carolina. Had a really good run for the few days I was there. Unfortunately, I went a little too hot into a corner and frankly really just psyched myself out. I ended up target fixating on the side of the road when I should have stayed focused on the inside of my turn. But unfortunately, that brief second of panic made me crash. Good news is I'm relatively okay. The worst thing that had happened, you can't really see much now, but that was where the fabric of my motorcycle boot was, and I ended up slamming into a guardrail. From what I was told, my bike apparently hit the guardrail too and spun around a few times after impacting it. Amazingly enough, I was able to ride it home with a broken peg. Ended up the shifter peg was broken. We ended up pulling the rear passenger peg from my bike and swapping that to the front. And crazy as it sounds, it actually was able to work. Anyway, so yeah, bike and rider are okay. That hurt a little bit, but I really didn't feel it until after I took my boot off. I mean, once we got the bike back up and running, I rode it back home, or at least to the hotel, for another 40 miles or so back through the mountains, and it was riding perfectly. Amazingly enough, most of the damage is just cosmetic, so pretty lucky on that one. But anyway, let me just start off here. This is my Joe Rocket jacket. I don't know what this is called because this is my first motorcycle jacket. I got my first bike, which was a Ninja 300, 3 years ago. I currently ride a Honda CBR 600 2013 model. And as you can see, some dirt right over there. This is where I low-sided, by the way, on that turn. So I must have rolled on my back here, and yeah, didn't really hurt too much. I mean, it was a little sore in the back, but nothing crazy. You know, this little, I don't know if you can see it right here or not, but there's a hole. Fingers able to go through now, so that kind of tore. Major damage is up here, right there in the shoulder. This ripped clean through. You can see straight to the shoulder pad and everything. Some more ripping right on the top, just to give a little different perspective there. But you know, for the most part, the jacket did its job. I walked away from this crash again with just minor damage to my foot because I ended up sliding into a guardrail. I had a little soreness in my kind of like, I guess, by my wing, in the traps area there. So that went away. Next up are these Sedici leathers, and these did their job perfectly. As you can see, little damage. Well, I wouldn't really say damage. I mean, I guess it's just dirt, slightly scraped up knee puck there, but I mean, as you can see, I mean, there's really nothing that happened to these. Again, some more dirt right there. A little scraping and abrasion over there. But for the most part, you know, I walked away. I didn't feel anything. My lower body was not hurting at all. My knees, legs, but nothing. I was feeling fine after that. Of course, this side kind of made it out a little less damage there. Let's flip them over. And again, a little dirty, but nothing crazy. I mean, this is the side that I must have went down on hard, and the pants held up pretty well. And there's really very little damage, I can say, except for this back part over here. So for the price that these went for, I say money well spent. Probably, and I could probably get another few uses out of these. Hopefully I never need to use them again, but at least that'll work. Now, my boots. I got the Sedici boots as well, and let's move these over. This is my left foot. You can see some dirt there from the crash, but the boot itself, for the most part, some scrapes there. But overall, this boot fared very well. This is the right boot. Fortunately, this is the one that I ended up nailing the guardrail with. Although I digress right there too. That's the point of impact. And as you can see, kind of took a nice chunk out of that paneling right there. And that's why I have the injury. Once again, it's pretty much healed at this point, but it just shows you what happened. If I had not hit that guardrail, or if I had been off by just maybe my foot was twisted just a little bit that way or just a little bit that way, I probably would have walked away with almost minimal damage, similar to that boot. But unfortunately, these boots, or at least this particular boot, is done for. But all in all, the gear did its job. My gloves are also Sedici's. I have the Ultimo race gloves. They're in my car right now, so I don't have them to record here. But I must have not even touched the ground with those, because when I got up, they were just clean, without any damage whatsoever, nothing torn. So hands probably never even touched the ground. I also have a Icon Armada helmet that I hit with. I am pissed about that, because that was a new helmet. It was the Eric Bostrom edition, the white and the green. Really nice, and it vented really well. It was a great helmet. I only had it for a month, and fortunately, got to replace it, and they don't make it anymore, which sucks. But, again, Sedici gear did its job. It did its job well. I walked away. I rode away from the crash. My bike amazingly survived with just cosmetic damage. And that's really it. So, kudos to Sedici. I think you cannot beat their value. And I'm definitely going to be looking for a new pair of these. And I'll probably just stick with this. I mean, really, there's no reason for me to get a new pair of leathers. These are in excellent condition, all things considered. The Joe Rocket jacket, I don't know, maybe a combination of age and weather changes. I'm originally from New York, we're down in Florida, humidity. I don't know how that plays into it, but it did its job. I'm obviously not going to be using it again. I'll probably hold on to it just to remind myself not to be stupid on the road. But there you have it. So hope you guys found this little crash review helpful. And again, I highly recommend Sedici. It may not be top quality leather like an Alpine Stars or Dionysi, but that does not mean it is not good leather. As you can see, this set of riding pants definitely did their job, and they are still usable for another round. If it wasn't for that guardrail, guarantee these boots would have just been scuffed up, and that would have been it. I mean, that one was scuffed up. This one, that's where I impacted, so fortunately hit that flex panel, but c'est la vie. I'm still alive, still awake, still riding. So see you guys later.